Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources. Updating daily at 6 a.m. New York.
Mirror World News, October 11th, 5:01 America, New York. Vladimir Putin, cornered like a rat and more dangerous than ever, Russia expert warns. Yesterday Moscow unleashed a deadly flurry of rockets which rained down on 7 key Ukrainian cities in a sustained 24-hour pounding, which included strikes against museums and civilian residences in the Kremlin's largest blitz since the start of the invasion in February.
New York Times World News.
October 11th, 5 o'clock America, New York. It's never too late to pivot from N.F.L. linebacker to neurosurgeon. When Myron Rolle was cut from the Pittsburgh Steelers, he fell into a funk until his mother reminded him of his 2 childhood dreams: play football, then become a neurosurgeon.
New York Times World News.
October 11th, 5 o'clock America, New York. One nation under Xi. How China's leader is remaking its identity. The leader's nationalist effort to meld ethnic groups, an agenda increasingly central to his rule, is seen as a bulwark against internal divisions and threats from the West. The Chinese leader, Xi Jinping, meeting with members of ethnic groups in 2015.
Wall Street Journal World News.
October 11th, 4:47 America, New York. Russia resumes strikes after mass bombardment of Ukraine. Russia launched another round of strikes across Ukraine as the death toll rose from the previous day's barrage, one of Moscow's broadest assaults in nearly 8 months of war.
BBC News World.
October 11th, 4:13 America, New York. Thailand nursery attack. Final farewell after massacre. The attack that began at a childcare center is the worst mass killing in Thailand's history.
Wall Street Journal World News.
October 11th, 4:11 America, New York. Saudi Arabia lures executives to Neom with million-dollar salaries. The mega development is paying senior executives roughly $1.1 million a year, according to an internal document, showing how the kingdom is using large pay packages to entice global talent to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's National Transformation Plan.
Wall Street Journal World News.
October 11th, 3:58 America, New York. NATO aims to better align arms purchases in response to Russian hostility. The invasion of Ukraine is prompting the U.S. and its allies to boost defense spending and seek better cooperation across the military alliance.
BBC News World.
October 11th, 3:55 America, New York. First funerals to be held for Irish blast victims. Jessica Gallagher and Martin McGill were among 10 people who died in an explosion last Friday. World News. Breaking international news and headlines, Sky News.
October 11th, 3:49 America, New York. New Zealand plan to tax cow and sheep burps faces backlash. New Zealand farmers are resisting government plans to tax the greenhouse gases that farm animals make from burping and peeing in an attempt to curb climate breakdown. Sheep feed in a field on a farm near Appleby in Cumbria, Britain.
The Washington Times Stories. Advocacy.
October 11th, 3:36 America, New York. Live updates. Russia-Ukraine war. Kyiv, Ukraine. Ukraine's State Emergency Service says that 19 people were killed and 105 others were wounded in Monday's Russian missile strikes across Ukraine.
Mirror World News, October 11th, 3:26 America, New York. Russia's bombing hell will go on all winter and push Ukraine back to 19th century. Military expert Yuri Podolyaka hit back at Western claims that Moscow is running low on missiles, telling Russian state-owned TV that winter in Ukraine will be catastrophic.
BBC News World.
October 11th, 3:12 America, New York. Uttar Pradesh. Angry residents rename Agra areas, Smelly Town. Some Agra residents rename 2 areas as Gutter Colony and Smelly Town to highlight civic issues.
The Washington Times Stories. Advocacy.
October 11th, 2:15 America, New York. South Korea says it has ability to intercept North's missiles. South Korea's military said Tuesday it's capable of detecting and intercepting the variety of missiles North Korea launched in a barrage of recent simulated nuclear attacks on its rivals, though it maintains the North's advancing nuclear program poses a grave security threat.
Fox World News.
October 11th, 2 o'clock America, New York. Protests hit Iran's oil and petrochemical sectors amid widespread anti-regime actions. For the first time since 22-year-old Iranian woman Mahsa Amini died in the custody of the Islamic Republic's infamous morality police, workers are disrupting Iran's vital energy sector.
Mirror World News.
October 11th, 1:34 America, New York. GCHQ boss says Vladimir Putin losing home support and troops running out of supplies. Sir Jeremy Fleming, head of the UK's GCHQ, is set to make a speech later today about the conflict in Ukraine, predicting that the Russian leader should expect a revolt against his leadership.
New York Times World News.
October 11th, 049 America, New York, your Tuesday briefing. Russia unleashes mass strikes on Ukrainian civilians. Smoke rising over Kyiv, the Ukrainian capital, on Monday after the Russian bombardment.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines, Sky News.
October 11th, 045 America, New York, at least 36 killed by Venezuela landslides as number of dead rises. The number killed by landslides in Venezuela has risen to at least 36 people after the country was hit by flooding and days of torrential rain. Volunteer rescuers in Las Tejerías, Aragua State, Venezuela.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines, Sky News.
October 10th, 2217 America, New York. Zelensky vows to make battlefield more painful for Russians. Another day of deadly rocket strikes. Volodymyr Zelensky was defiant as he vowed to make the battlefield more painful for Russian troops after another deadly day of rockets raining down on Ukraine. Volodymyr Zelensky,